Hello guys, welcome to my humble YouTube channel where I bring you fanfiction that will brighten your days. Before we start, a subscribe is greatly appreciated, and don't forget to leave a like and ring the bell icon so you won't miss exciting new fanfiction stories. The Anomaly, TensuraXDate Alive, by Humpzwas Chapter 21, Bestowed Power. Toka Pav, in a fight against Origami, Toka was unconscious on the ground, and finally woke up. The first voice she heard was Miku, who was injured and walking towards her. "Toka, are you finally awake?" Miku. Suddenly, Miku stumbled and lost consciousness and fell to the ground. In front of them were the Anomaly sisters, who were also in the ground but not fully unconscious. She looked around and found Origami standing in front of them, standing in a fallen tree. "Tobichi Origami. You bastard. Why would you do this?" Toka asks, desperate. "I don't understand the question. You're spirits. Calamities who ruin the world. Beings which curses humanity. That alone is answer enough. Don't make me say it again," Origami said, holding up her hand as Yuzuru starts to float to her grasp. "Yuzuru. In Guish. Master Origami. Why?" Yuzuru asks, saddened. Origami then choked her neck as she just gave a smile. "You bastard. Get your hands off of Yuzuru, Origami." Kaguya screamed out, trying to attack but ultimately failed. Only to be pushed back by Origami's territory down to the ground, making a small crater. "Kaguya." Toka tried to go to her side, but got blocked by Origami's territory. "It took so long. But now I've obtained it. The power to kill spirits. The power to fulfill my wish. With this strike, I'll regain who I was. Soon, all the spirits will be killed by my hand. So that never again will a human like me be born," Origami said, pointing the sword to Yuzuru's head. "Tobichi Origami. Less than I can't even take a step forward, let alone move an inch. At this rate. Greater than. Less than more. If only I had more power. Greater than," Toka thought, suddenly remembering the time when she got inverted. "Less than I can't. With that power, I won't be able to save anyone. I have to fight without losing who I am. Greater than. Less than to save Kaguya. To help Yuzuru. To see Miku live, and also for her. Greater than," Toka thought, looking at Origami. "Shido. Lend me more power." In a desperate attempt, Toka and her angel started to glow. Before transforming herself into her full astral dress, then, suddenly, someone came flying down and attacked Origami. Cascading down a blue blur, as the attack hits, it makes a huge smoke around the impact. As the smoke dispersed, a long silver blue hair swayed with the wind. It was Rimuru. Rimuru? Toka looked at them, confused. Rimuru Pav. A few minutes earlier, Rimuru went on first, leaving Shido, Yoshino and Natsumi behind. Thanks to Seal, she was able to easily find where all the other spirits and Origami were fighting. As she got close in a secluded forest, there were a bunch of fallen trees and a bunch of dust and smoke everywhere. She then saw all of them fighting, especially Origami, who was choking Yuzuru's neck, about to slice her head off. Kaguya was now unconscious in the ground as Tonka stared at both Origami and Yuzuru desperately. Rimuru rushed in as she sped up and came down on Origami, Chaos, attacking her with her angel. As soon as the attack landed, it made a huge shockwave and smoke around them. Origami managed to react on time but barely blocked it. Caught off guard, Rimuru managed to take Yuzuru away from Origami's grasp. Jumping to Toka's side, Rimuru put the unconscious Yuzuru on the ground. She looked at Toka. Rimuru, you're here." "Yeah, sorry I'm late. Is everyone okay?" Rimuru asks. "Why yeah, I think they'll be unconscious for a while. They're gonna wake up soon enough, I think," Toka said. "I see." Both of them looked at Origami, who was gritting her teeth as she looked at the spirits with hate. "What the hell has been going on with you, Origami? And, you really joined them?" Rimuru asks. "There's nothing going on with me. I just want to kill all the spirits. I will kill both you and Yatagami Toka first." Origami then rushed at Rimuru, attacking her with her yellow energy sword, but Rimuru blocks it. Rimuru pushed her away as they both backed away from each other. "Rimuru, let me fight with you," Toka said, stumbling back. You can't, you're injured and you won't be able to keep up, just stay behind me. You go tend the others instead. Don't worry, I can handle her on my own, Rimuru said. Toka nods as she flies away from the fight, going to the other spirits. Rimuru then rushed to Origami, both clashing blades and pushing Origami back, until she jumped back. Then, Origami's energy sword became thinner and flew to the air and exploded like fireworks, raining down on Rimuru. Dodging them all by jumping backwards, as all of them hit the ground, it made a huge explosion as dust and smoke spreaded everywhere. Coming out of the smoke, Origami rushed at Rimuru and attacked her. They both clashed blades again. Both of them were evenly matched, even though Rimuru wasn't using her full astral dress. But a limited astral dress, making Origami frustrated after knowing that she wouldn't be able to keep up if she were on that form. Both of them flew up to the sky to fight in a more open area. Both of them never got any clean hits just yet though. Suddenly, Origami's armor started to malfunction, losing control of it as she reached her limit, crying out blood. Rimuru then attacked at her stomach with her angel, blocked by the territory around her but enough to make her spit out blood and fall down on the ground at high speed. As she crashed down multiple trees, facing upwards as she couldn't stand up anymore. Rimuru was still up in the air, looking at her. Less than seal, is Toka and the others to greater than before she could continue. She suddenly felt a familiar presence in Riryoku. It's where Origami landed too. It's familiar to Rimuru, because it's similar to the girl she fought first after traveling to this world. What this spirit power is. But what is she doing here all of a sudden? In a rush, Rimuru rushed at where Origami landed. But she was too late. As she got in the ground, she saw a mysterious figure standing. The mysterious figure was in front of her. Their entire body was covered in noise and mosaic, making Rimuru unable to see their true identity. But the energy radiating from her is entirely familiar to a girl she can't forget. She's using a distorted body which is covered with noise and mosaic, making her expressions and form unrecognizable, but Takami, less than report. Rimuru-sama, according to my analysis, that isn't Takamiya Mio, but Phantom, greater than. Less than it's a temporary body that she's using. Her real body is hiding somewhere else. Greater than Seal said. Rimuru looked disbelief, but Phantom doesn't seem to see her. According to Seal, she said that Rimuru wasn't supposed to be able to see her. Phantom was currently using her own Riryoku to hide her body and presence to stay hidden. But thanks to Seal and her antics, it didn't matter much to her. Then a white Saphira crystal appeared in Phantom's hand. Less than a Saphira crystal. Don't tell me, she's planning to too. Before she could go and stop her, Phantom already put the crystal inside Origami and her body started to glow white. Origami started to scream in pain. Phantom's presence also disappeared and Rimuru started to feel the Riryoku inside Origami. In a sudden burst of energy, catching her off guard, Rimuru was blasted away from the blow. Fortunately, she was able to block and reduce the blast, blown back to where Toka and other spirits were. Rimuru. The other spirits were all awake and okay now as Rimuru struggled to sit up. Ow, ow. Oh, you guys are all awake, Rimuru said as she stood up. Hey, are you okay, Rimuru? Did you get beaten by her or something? Toka asks. No, something entirely else happened instead. Anyway, you guys got to run, Rimuru said. Why? Did something happen? Kagaya asks. Yeah, but I can't explain it to you right now. Go while you see before Rimuru could finish. They all felt another unfamiliar spirit's presence above them, Origami, wearing her own astral dress as she was glowing white. Her astral dress resembled an angelic wedding gown with gold accents, including a crown with a white veil. That's Origami. Confirmation. Do you think so too? Yuzuru asks. It has to be. But that form is, Miku said, as all of them looked up, confused except Rimuru. Yeah, Origami has been transformed into a spirit. You guys run away, I won't be able to protect you guys while fighting, Rimuru said. At least let me fight with you this time, Rimuru. She's more powerful than before, now that she's a spirit, you know, Toka said. Toka, all right, fine, just be careful and don't be reckless, Rimuru said. Rimuru, Toka, sorry. Prayer. Fight well. Then, Miku and the Yamai sisters ran away to not get caught up in the fight as Origami slowly flew down to them. Rimuru Tempest and Yatogami Toka, I will defeat both of you. Origami said. Then Origami summoned her own angel. Less than Metatron greater than her angel was a set of golden, feather-like cannons that surrounded her form. Less than report. According to my analysis. Her angel, Metatron, the cannons can fire beams or lasers of shining light from their tips, Rimuru-sama. Greater than Seal said. You bastard. Why are you a spirit? Toka asks. Spirit. In that case. This changes nothing. I will wield this power to defeat all spirits. I'll be a spirit-killing spirit. And then, once I exterminate all spirits, I'll eradicate the only one left, myself. Origami said. Metatron. Shemesh. Origami's floating cannons start to spin around her, gathering light particles. She then released it as a rain of energy blasts, raining down on both Rimuru and Toka. Rimuru and Toka both dodged the energy blasts as it was causing heavy destruction to the ground below. Rimuru rushed to Origami in the sky and attacked her with her angel. Origami dodged her strike. Toka jumped in to attack Origami with her angel too, and she just teleported away and appeared behind her. What a monster. Moloch. Origami's angel then fired multiple laser beams at them from her cannons at higher speed. Both Rimuru and Toka managed to block all the laser beams, watching each other's back. But Origami continued her onslaught, her constant barrage of laser beams, and she showed no signs of stopping. Kador. Origami's angel broke formation, as the cannons each attack Rimuru and Toka individually with more laser beams, making it look as if they have a will of their own. Rimuru still managed to block and deflect all of them except for Toka, who got hit multiple times and is bleeding, and they couldn't get close to her. In a desperate attempt after Origami stopped attacking, Toka rushed at her, not to attack her with her angel, but tried to punch her in the face. Which obviously didn't work, and Origami just simply teleported away from the punch. Both Rimuru and Toka flew down to the ground as Origami stayed in the air after recovering from the punch. Origami, I'll ask you one more time. Can we not see eye to eye? Rimuru asks. Don't be ridiculous. My resolve will not change. My mission will not change. Every last spirit I will not permit. Origami said. I see. Then I have no choice. Toka stays back. Rimuru said. Toka nods and she flew up to the air as Rimuru's angel got mixed with nihility energy. Chaos. Purses. Around Rimuru, the surrounding spiritual energy turned black and the dark energy then accumulated in the katana, turning it into a terrifying jet black color. Then, Origami's cannons take on a circular formation and point their tips at Rimuru, about to shoot a massive beam at her. Metatron. Shemesh. But, before they could unleash their attacks, they were interrupted by a familiar. It was Shido and was running up to them. Stop it. Both Rimuru and Origami stopped charging up their attacks as they looked at him. Shido. Why? You too. Why are you doing this? Rimuru. Origami. Shido said. Then, Origami flew away and escaped as Rimuru made no move to try and catch up to her. Shido tried to stop her, but she didn't even look back as she continued to fly away at high speed. Origami. After that, both Toka and Rimuru untransformed and went to the school infirmary because they couldn't contact Fraxinus for some reason. Shido Pav. It was now night in the infirmary. All the spirits were in bed except for Rimuru, Yoshino and Natsumi. In another room, both Shido and Rimuru about the incident that just happened. I see. Origami became a spirit. Shido said. Yes, she turned into a spirit because of Phantom. Rimuru said, shocking Shido. Phantom. You mean you saw them? Shido asks, looking at Rimuru with bewilderment. Well, but why do you look so surprised? Rimuru asks, her expression looking like she said something she wasn't supposed to say. Phantom as well. The person responsible for turning normal humans into spirits, just like what they did to Kotori 5 years ago. Wait, Rimuru, how do you even know their name? I don't think I recall telling you. Before Shido could finish, he was interrupted by Toka, gritting her teeth as she tried to ease the pain. You should be resting, Toka. Shido said. Then another voice spoke out. Are you okay? Yoshino asks Kagaya. Wow, you really took a beating. Yoshinon said. Nah, I'm fine, Kagaya said, trying her best to look okay. Sigh. Kagaya is faking. Yuzuru said sarcastically. Shut up. I'm perfectly fine. Ow. Kagaya said, but got hurt for moving too much. In the corner was Natsumi, by herself in the ground in her knees as she looked sad and angry. I'm so ugly, worthless, and dirty like trash. But trash can be recycled, so I'm worse than trash. Natsumi said. Less than she used a bunch of her power doing first aid. Greater than Shido thought. Ow. Ow. It was Miku, the only one not in bed despite having multiple injuries. Miku. Don't push yourself, Shido said with concern. I'm glad you're worried for me, darling. But, as long as I have power, I still have a job to do. Miku said. A job. As Miku got in front of them, she clapped her hands as she called out her angel. Gabriel. Requiem. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's special show. Izayoi Miku, on stage. Miku said. Then a song starts to play from Miku's Angel, a relaxing song that has an analgesic effect. The whole room was now filled with colorful and beautiful lights, easing everyone's injuries. Wonder. My pain is fading away. Yuzuru said. It's a song for pain relief. Not that it accomplishes much. Miku said. After using her angel, she fell to the floor on her knees because she used up most of her power. Thanks, Miku. I know. Let's get you to the hospital while the song's working. Can you walk, Toka? Shido asks. She nodded. After that, they went to the hospital as the others stayed behind to heal gradually. Origami Pav. After the fight with Rimuru and Toka, Origami flew down and looked at the destruction she caused. I did this. I'm a spirit, but the me now can finally kill spirits. Not just Rimuru or Toka either. But even Ifrit and Nightmare, too. After uttering the name, Nightmare, she glanced at the clock and suddenly thought of something. Could it be? What if doing that was possible? Origami asked herself, then. She flew around Tengu City, searching for one specific person. After flying for a while, she saw them. Origami followed after the person and had a battle with them. Origami won easily, but their body was fake and was just a clone. She used that clone to search for the real one. Then she found herself on the rooftop of a random building and saw the person she wanted to see. The person had long, black hair that was tied in long twin tails, wearing a dress made out of crimson and black frills. It was Tokasaki Kurumi. Also known as less than Nightmare, greater than wearing her astral dress as Origami confronted her on the rooftop. Origami was dragging Kurumi's clone in the ground before putting her down in front of Kurumi. Era, what a strange customer we have tonight. They both stared at each other with silence until Kurumi broke the silence. Long time no see, Origami. I must say, I'm impressed you found me. Kurumi said. Finding one of your other selves in the city isn't so hard for me anymore. Origami said. Then, Kurumi's clone then went down inside her shadow. Era, you sure weren't gentle, Kurumi said with a smirk. I didn't kill her. I held back, Origami said. And what brings you here? I take it you haven't come for a tea party. Kurumi asks. I want you to ask you a question. Origami said. A question, is it? Whether I can answer or not depends on the question. Kurumi said. Zafkiel is an angel that manipulates time. And each and every 12 of the dials has some sort of different power. Of those 12, does one have a bullet to send someone you shoot into the past? Origami asks. Supposing there is one, what would you say? Kurumi asks. That I want to borrow your power. Origami said. You suggesting that I use Yod Bet for your sake? Is that what you're saying? Kurumi asks. Yes. Well, here's my answer. Unfortunately, I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you. Kurumi said and pointed her musket at her. You may have incredible power, but it means nothing if you can't hit me. Origami said. I'm so being underestimated. Truly ironic hearing that from someone who went on and fought Rimuru by yourself. Kurumi said sarcastically. What do you mean? Rimuru and Toka couldn't get close to me. Origami said. No, she wasn't even using her full astral dress. If she did, you would have lost by now. Kurumi said. Origami gritted her teeth, knowing that she's probably right, but didn't let it get to her as her eyes told Kurumi to change the subject. Alright, just out of curiosity. What would you be doing with Yod Bet? Kurumi asks. I want you to send me to August 3rd, 5 years ago, Origami said. 5 years ago, you say? To go back 5 years and make my dad and mom's deaths never happen. With this power, I'll change history, Origami said. Is that so? And what will you do if I refuse? Kurumi asks. Make you agree by any means necessary, Origami said. You've gone and said it now. Kurumi then put her musket down. But, whatever. I was worried about using Yod Bet without testing it first anyway, so I'll have you be my guinea pig, Kurumi said. Really? Origami asks contentedly, with sparks in her eyes, even making Kurumi blush a bit. After composing herself, Kurumi called out her angel, less than Zafkiel greater than. Now, come to me. Zafkiel. Her angel took the form of a large clock with Roman numerals, accompanied by an archaic pistol in her hand. Zafkiel. Yod Bet. Then she shot the pistol to Origami. As soon as it hits, Origami's body starts disappearing, going to the past. Go and show me how mad and foolish trying to change the world is, and how far God permits it.